There are different rates used by stakeholders of financial markets for numerous purposes. Correspondingly, we'll be looking at usage and meaning of different rates. First of all, we'll be examining average weighted call money rate, known as AWCMR. It's a weighted average rate of interbank call money transactions. The overnight unsecured transactions among commercial banks, and it serves as the operating target of central banks' current enhanced monetary policy framework. Sri Lanka interbank offer rate, known as SLIBOR, SLIBOR, was an indicative money market rate. CBSL discontinued the compilation and publication of SLIBOR with effect from 1st July 2020. SLIBOR discontinuation decision was taken considering the lack of usage of SLIBOR in benchmarking loan products in Sri Lankan domestic financial market. The global trend of phasing out the compilation and publication of offered rates, including the London Interbank Offered Rate, known as LIBOR, requests from several licensed commercial banks to discontinue the reporting of offered rates in the context of thin interbank market volumes for longer tenors and the availability of alternative benchmark interest rates in the domestic financial market. SLIBOR was calculated based on an average of interest rates quoted by selected licensed commercial banks that they were willing to offer funds for different maturities in the call money market. Based on these quotes, SLIBOR for 1 day, 7 day, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month maturities were previously computed and published daily by central bank. Average weighted lending rate, AWLR, is calculated by central bank on a monthly basis based on interest rates of all outstanding rupee loans and advances extended by commercial banks to the private sector. Average weighted prime lending rate, known as AWPLR, is calculated by central bank on a weekly basis based on commercial banks' lending rate offered to their prime customers during a particular week. The monthly average of weekly AWPLR is also published. Average weighted deposit rate, AWDR, is calculated by central bank on a monthly basis based on the weighted average rates of all interest-bearing rupee deposits held with commercial banks. Average weighted fixed deposit rate, AWFDR, is also calculated on a monthly basis by central bank based on weighted average rates of all outstanding interest-bearing rupee time deposits held with commercial banks. Average weighted new deposit rate, AWNDR, is calculated by central bank on a monthly basis based on weighted average rates of all new interest-bearing rupee deposits mobilized by commercial banks during a particular month. Average weighted new lending rate, AWNLR, is calculated by central bank on a monthly basis based on interest rates of all new rupee loans and advances extended by commercial banks to the private sector during a particular month. Legal and market rate of interest. The legal rate is defined under the Civil Procedure Code, Amended Act number 6 of 1990, and is applicable to any action for the recovery of a sum of money. Market rate is defined under the Debt Recovery Special Provisions Act number 2 of 1990 and applies only in relation to action instituted by lending institutions for the recovery of debt exceeding 150,000 LKR, arising out of commercial transactions where there is no agreed rate of interest. The market rate and the legal rate for a year is computed in December by central bank and is announced through a gazette notification. Reference for today's presentation is from Central Bank's web page titled as FAQs on Monetary Policy. Thanks for watching.